Hello everyone and welcome to round 48. From looking at these numbers, it looks like we went about equal with not the Federation, so that's relatively good news. Let's go and have a look. Metal deposits, that's always good. Confidence continues, and atomic weapons optimization. It's unusual to get that this early. I thought you needed tactical nukes to unlock this, but this is good. It means we can optimize our weapons before we actually produce them, if we ever actually get to use atomics. And our heavy combat armor laser troops are ready. We also have siege infantry, and thankfully, Grenadier has finally showed up. Just the same sort of stratagems. They all seem fairly good. That's good. And let's go have a look at the replay. Large amounts of artillery do their thing. Even larger amounts. Damn, that's a lot of guns. And we get pushed back here for only taking out 10 enemy assault guns, I believe those are, in exchange for the better part of 1,000 troops and 30 tanks. That's not great. But they fail quite badly to follow through on the attack, and they lose a decent number of infantry as well as some artillery and light mechanized units. Looks like he's straightening out his line a bit. They still have this artillery superiority, which is causing headaches. Right, back to the main view. Let's have a look at our resources. Wow, we are getting quite a lot this turn. Just more and more all the time, although our expenditure of ammunition remains extremely high. Just so I don't manage to forget, I'm going to put a very large amount of ammunition in the stockpile. Right, let's have a look at the decisions for this turn. We have a new advisor. I'll leave that one till the end. And staff council. I'm fairly happy with that at the moment, so I will leave it be. And while we're on models, let's go and have a look at the new troops. So they've simply updated to combat armor, and that's very good. The design rolls have boosted up a little bit for weapon and enormously for armor. So you can see, despite both having heavy combat armor, and I think the tech's been relatively similar. There's a small boost to personal armor technology in there as well. But despite being fairly similar, there's a very, very large boost in hit points, and this makes these guys incredibly tough. I'm fairly content with them. They are a good, solid line trooper. We do actually need to upgrade our machine guns. We already have the quad ones, but we need the heavy machine guns to be upgraded. So I think that'll be our plan for this turn. Going back to look at models. We simply give them lasers. Right, for this one, it's a no-brainer. Grenadier is one of the most useful infantry compositions because it has machine guns and RPGs mixed in with infantry.
Copy that.
So that's a simple one. We have a minor worker strike, but because it's a very small city, it's not going to be too impactful. I think I will use it. Wait, let me just check if I actually have any people in clan. I do not. So, because of that, I will simply bus in some militia troops to crack some heads if necessary. And military force. Excellent. And finally, we have a governor for the Dano city, which I have forgotten what that was. That was the newly settled. Right, that's right. Yes, it was this one. So let's have a look. He's an alright charisma rating. Bit of a strange character, that one. And this guy, oh, he's very, very good. Would be an absolute waste to have as a governor, so I'm going to just have to appoint this guy, Mac Fidget. And looking at this Astro Hall fella again, he hasn't actually got any higher operational command skills. I'm just going to quickly compare him to Chrissy Whitaker, who is our current advisor for the SHQ. She's good, but he is better. Unfortunately, she has more training, so I think I will just leave her in place. And he's nowhere near as good as our actual commander, who kind of could use a bit of a higher war score, but he has really good high command. And the whole shuffling them about is such a pain. I try not to do it except when I absolutely have to. Okay, so I may just appoint this guy as an OHQ person. So he can be my next unit commander, basically. Right, we don't really care about either of those decisions right now, and I'm pretty sure this is the new metal that we've found, which is nice. We always need more metal. We have plenty of spare population, although they're not recruiting quite as much as I would like. Yeah, we'll just simply put that there and block it off for the most part. Right, let me just switch units back on so we can actually see what we're doing, and the no-brainer guys like these ones can shuffle across. Now let's have a look here. Oof, these howitzers got kind of battered. And looks like we are running out of logistical capacity because we are reinforcing so many units. I'm just going to nip back to the SHQ. Yeah, we have a lot of replacements in here, but we don't have the logistical capacity to actually send them all, which is a bit unfortunate. It does seem like we are running out of oomph here, which is a bit unfortunate. It's just so far from our front lines that, yeah, we're struggling quite a lot. And not helped by this guy not being fully staffed. Right. I may actually put a supply depot down there just to help out the front that little bit extra. Okay. What have we got going on? There's quite a curtain of Federation units there. I may have been a bit too optimistic last turn in terms of whether we'd be able to push through any further. That is a pity, but nothing to be done. And we can see our independent machine guns. That is why the logistics were so screwed up. Is because I disbanded all those units. That was my fault. Right, before I get deep into that, I'm going to have a quick look at the strategic situation to see how hard I need to push. It doesn't look like there's anything happening just yet over here. This front is, as you can see, quite the concentration of units. I believe that we're going to be seeing some real battles here eventually. And looks like he's lining up all his tank units to bust through this one grassy hex. If I were Bolton, sorry, not Bolton, Bloodfort, I would be putting more artillery in this hex, but that may just be me. Okay, let's have a look back over in the eastern side of our empire. Are there any issues? These appear to be militia, so not too much to worry about. These are not. Interesting. I'm a little bit cautious. I may actually raise a battalion to go up here because we do not want to be caught unawares by any surprise attack. I won't do it quite yet because they, as you can see, haven't even moved next to us yet. So it's not urgent. That, and we can threaten them realistically here a bit because it doesn't seem like they've got much in the way of troops. We're still down a couple of units, I think, but this guy's stuck out of supply as well. Bummer. I may save that guy just by pushing this road along one hex further. Let's see if that will be enough. It will. Great. Okay. A few more little bits and pieces to get through. Well, I found the rebels. It looks like the odds were lying to me there. I was a bit surprised by them, but oh well. Hopefully I'll be able to crush them next turn with my machine gunners. Just make sure those borders are sorted out nicely. And a quick review of the assets. Our capital is not actually building anything at the moment. I should probably correct that. It's good to always be investing in something. Don't think I need any more fuel storage or energy storage just a second. I'm starting to wonder if I should put down some rail stations and the like, but it is very, very expensive to do so, largely because of the amount of industry metal the rail costs to actually lay. So I'm a little bit uncertain at the moment if it's quite the time, but then again, when will it never not be the time? So I think I will start investing in the rail. The actual rail stations aren't super, super expensive, at least not at first. And it will allow me to extend my reach.
Yes, sir.
Just a simple 2-station stop for now, and then I think I will try and keep it to my western track, so all the points for rail actually go this direction. Let me just have a quick look to see how much a theoretical line would cost. I could probably build it out to Dano in a single turn, but it would cost me my entire stockpile of industry there. And speaking of which, we are still quite short on the amount of everything, really. Especially these guys. Yikes. Got an excess of machine gunners and RPGs, though, which is good. Okay, I think that is largely these guys just trying to call up so damn many troops. They want thousands and thousands of infantry. So I guess that's what we're going to have to give them. We do have a very, very large amount of recruits just sitting around. Hopefully they're cheap enough. I always forget how much they cost. Yeah, by the time you get to heavy armor and lasers, your guys are costing a lot of industry to make, but it is absolutely worth it. I can produce about half. That will have to do. Okay, let's have a look. Nope, not a chance against those guys with their quad machine guns. Unlikely to be any different there. How is he getting these? Oh, they're heavy battalions. That's annoying because they are better than mine. Okay, let's have a look. These guys are pretty much a sacrificial unit. They have no real chance of holding out against the big lump of units I have here. He's either screwed up or my recon is lying to me because... And my recon is very high. So... we're definitely going to be able to take that city this turn and without too much trouble as well. Third spot, this machine gunner will probably need a little bit of battering, but he can be moved as well. Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Open fire. Affirmative.
Alrighty, they are absolutely battered and shouldn't be any real obstacle to the troops I have kicking about. Oof, that doesn't mean they can't inflict some nasty casualties. Oof, quad lasers. They are so horrible to attack against. Yikes. How many men did I lose? 900. Bloody hell. I hadn't done anything foolish like having my guys on defensive postures. That was probably part of it. Whoops. On the upside, I do at least have enough movement points to scoot a bunch of guys through the... Oh wow, these guys are very, very low readiness for the most part. I wonder... That should be a fairly easy victory. These are tank hunters, so pitting them against a bunch of barely armored buggies isn't going to be that difficult. Although they did use up more action points than I was hoping, because I kind of hoped that we could get into this hex and then use it as a second spot to attack into. Again, we're having a few issues with actually getting troops to the front with enough action points to attack. So let's... Well, this should be doable if... Oh, okay. Easier than I thought. Again, looks like the quad machine gunners did some good work. What the hell? Okay, we won, but that was much, much harder than it should have been. I think that little quad machine gunner really tore us to bits. And because I didn't commit everyone to the attack, we should now have enough to do... let's have a look, see if we can pile on enough troops to do No, that's a bit iffy. I'm not gonna risk it. But we can hopefully do some follow-up attacks in the agricultural terrain, which is favourable to our tanks. I thought we would... Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong hex, that's why. That's unfortunate. I was hoping for more. I wonder. Yeah, that could... Hopefully that will work. Oh, no it won't. Damn laser infantry, you've done us again. Oh well, such is life. We're still going to be pressing forward and keeping the bloodbath going, which is really all we can do at the moment, is just keep the attack moving forward as fast as we can, because essentially our entire focus right now has to be breaking through the lines and destroying not the Federation's capability to resist as quickly as we can, because we need to suppress him and get him out of the running before we run into the issues of Bloodfort and Bolton starting to throw down, or before Bloodfort decides to stab this guy in the back and take his cities while I'm fighting on the front. That would be unfortunate as well, and I'll be very unhappy with that. Just looking for opportunities along the front here. I think they're going to be quite thin on the ground. I don't see this working, but I thought I would stack them up. Oh, it's a bit better than I thought it would be. Maybe if I borrow some tanks. There's 110 tanks, so... I think I'll borrow a few tanks from this side and just pile on a whole lot of guys until we're drowning them in bodies. See what happens. Ouch. Although that turned around quite quickly. I wish we had gotten a few more of their tanks, but casualties were lighter overall. I think by the end of this, I don't know what's going to be happening with not the Federation, but he has to be suffering a fair amount, because it's just a lot of casualties. Ouch. Speaking of, I overstretched there a bit, and my commander's rolled quite low, which is another thing which happens to me. I would like to be able to take these guys out, but I don't think... Oh, maybe I do actually.
Move it now.
Of course, I may have overstretched again. The problem being my tanks, high velocity guns, they aren't very good at actually... Jeez, that's a lot of casualties for not a lot. My tanks' high velocity guns are not very good at... Oh, it was low mountains. I didn't quite twig onto that. Annoying. Yeah, as I was saying, my tanks' high velocity guns are not that amazing at actually taking out infantry. I designed them initially when I was struggling with the... I designed them initially when I was struggling with... Sorry, I'm just thinking aloud there. Yeah, when I was struggling with the tanks that he'd brought in because they were polymer armored. So I made them counter that, and now they're a bit less useful. Okay, let's just do a quick cycle through these guys. Make sure that everyone has moved who needs to move. Don't think that'll work. Although it does occur to me we may be able to do some sneaky stuff. No? Why not? Just for that little extra bit of difficulty it's going to cause them. They'll probably get beaten up next turn, but it's alright. The fact that they're in there is going to cause a fair amount of consternation, I hope. And it may cause them to collapse his line back instead of putting up a proper fight. Oops, didn't really mean to do that, but whatever. Doesn't make any real difference. And this guy's fine, just digging in for now. Same with the militia, who should really be on guard mode. Yep, I think that is pretty much everyone who should be moving has moved. So, instead of upgrading my troops like I was planning to, I spent it all on new troops, which is fine. The old ones are doing well enough for now, even though it's not quite ideal. It would be nice to finish off some of these guys, but who knows. Let's have a look at the stats. I have seemingly topped out on my actual numbers, and as you can see, casualties remain extremely high every turn. There's a second view on that in regime statistics, whereas last turn it was lower. This turn I bet you it'll be like 3,000 or 4,000 at least. I don't think this includes the ones that have happened this turn so far. However, you can also see we are inflicting good numbers of casualties in return, and most crucially, more than 100 tanks every turn is, in all likelihood, much more than he can replace, because of one Industry 2 and Industry 3. He's also building other stuff, and that's about it. I believe there's actually a city up here, but I don't think it has any industry. Yeah, so I think we're destroying his troops at a rate which is far higher than he's capable of replacing them. And so eventually, something's going to crack. Possibly, yeah, that is a bit risky having that guy there. I may pull him back. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to pull these guys back. Eventually, something will break. You can't keep replacing these losses indefinitely with his smaller industrial base, which is why I'm taking all these risks in the attacks that I make. Normally, I think I would try and be a bit more cautious, but yeah, time is not on my side. If I had all the time in the world, it would be a much easier fight. But unfortunately, I don't. Right, I think that pretty much covers it for this turn. There's no real stratagems to play, but I'm going to do a quick run through it, but that could take a while and isn't really something you necessarily need to see. So, thanks a lot everyone, and I hope you enjoyed the turn, and I'll see you next time.